Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Adam Mendoza. You're tuned in to the Nella Fellas Under the Street Latin podcast. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Young Beeves.
What's cracking? What's cracking? Thank you for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming through,
it's a
bro.
Pleasure, man.
It means a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, you came in today. We covered a lot of good stuff off camera, but just in general, bro, I want to ask you, when it comes to being a comic, when I first met you or when I first heard about you, it was a lot of the after prison show type things and interviews like that. So I knew a lot about your background, but it took about a year of watching your stuff till I found that you were a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about that. How you got started.
Okay. So the way that I got started was I always been kind of, I would say I was kind of funny. Just joking around with the homies, you laugh and you have a good time, right? And let's say this, we're just drinking, crack some jokes, that kind of stuff. So it was always one of my dreams. But as Latinos, we're procrastinators. We lag it, man. And I would always tell people man, one day I'm gonna do a comedy show. They'll be like, shut up, you ain't gonna do nothing. But I always wanted to do it. So it was one of my dreams. But I felt like I was procrastinating and self-sabotaging myself. Because I started thinking whoa, let's say if I do it, what audience am I gonna hit? I didn't think there was an audience for people like us, well, like me, Latinos.
Yeah.
And long story short, one day I go to this bar because you Friday you get paid, you go to a bar. I go to a bar and they had open mics at the Sunset Room in Hacienda Heights. So I pull up and we're drinking, kicking it, I'm cracking jokes for everybody out of work. I just saw coworkers. One of my coworkers signs me up for an open mic. And I'm just like, why the hell are they calling my name? And they're like, whoa, you're going to go up. And I was like, well, I don't got material. I don't got nothing. I'm not ready. And he goes, look. And the guy, he's still there at the Sunset Bar.
Okay.
So he goes, look, you're naturally funny. So just go to just talk. And I was like, well, I don't have lines or nothing. And he goes, there's people who write lines and improvise. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to do what he said. I don't know none of these people anyways. Plus, I'm drunk. I'm not even going to remember. So I go up there and normally you only go for 5 minutes, I go there and I'm up there for 10 minutes just talking about different stuff and people are dying. And then they're like, where did you make that up at? And I was like, this is what I do every day. Because I started talking about at work. Because the way I am at work is if my employer treats me good, I treat them good, but if they're dicking me, I don't know if I can say you good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if they dick me around, then I'm just gonna fucking say fuck them. I'm gonna do the same shit. So my employer at the time was dicking me around. So what I used to do is I would punch in at 5 a.m.
All right.
And I would get the forklift and I would go and I would hide in the racks and go to sleep. I would go to sleep on the job. I'd punch in. So, I swear to God. Yeah.
So this is. Are you saying is this what you were talking about on stage about
yeah,
work?
Yeah, I was talking about
Oh, because you were with all coworkers.
Yes, all coworkers. So I started talking about how 15 minutes before I go to home, I'd go to the bathroom and just wait for the last 15 minutes, just different stuff. And then I had a habit of always carrying a sandwich or a burrito in my pocket. I don't know why. So everywhere I would go, I'd just always be eating, and they'll be like, God damn.
Can I just make a comment real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Something that stood out to me real quick. Obviously, I'm not a hardcore guy, you know what I mean? But I grew up in the culture, you know what I mean? And I appreciate and respect the culture. But something that stood out to me that you said was that when you first started talking about becoming a stand-up comic, that people just laughed or kind of you're not going to do it, and the naysayers. And that's something that I could relate to it, and I feel like we kind of do that to each other.
Yeah, we don't encourage each other. As raza, we don't.
Yeah, and so what I wanted to say to you is this, bro, is that most comics struggle to come up with their first 5 minutes. You went in unprepared, just being yourself, and did 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say to you, bro, is I think that there's a lot of untapped potential. If you're able to go and do a double up what everybody else does off the wing, there's a lot of talent there, bro. And I think that's something that I don't know if people have told you yet, but you're a really talented guy, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
And I can recognize it. And it's kind of like this, with Tupac, right? When he used to rhyme, people be in the studio and be like, how do you do all these songs? You're like the Tupac of comedy because you could just, I shouldn't make that comparison, but you know what I'm saying? But in the fact that you have so much material, bro.
Yeah. Off the top of the head, yeah.
And people to come up with their first hour, when I was like, hey, Beebs, how much content do you think you have?
You have my special, remember? You freestyled the whole thing.
Bro.
I just thought you noticed. Nobody else noticed.
Yeah.
Nobody else knows. Remember being the comedy show? Nobody noticed. Everybody's like, damn, that's hilarious.
No, you did good.
And he called me the next day. Remember,
Yeah.
you're like, you freestyled the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, how'd you know? And he goes, I could tell by the way you were like talking, the way you were improvising.
Yeah, the thing was because I get overexcited sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
And when you and I started talking, I was like, bro, I'm gonna get your comedy special. We're gonna, and so I just had like, so it got to a point, bro, where I was watching your comedy and like taking notes.
Yeah.
And I think I probably sent you a couple things. I was like, hey, maybe this will be funny. I'm sure you get that a lot. You know,
no, I did use some of them.
But
because honestly, I feel like the person who's on the side sees more than you saying it. Like even there'll be times that I'll say a joke and it won't land. It'll still be funny, but it won't land. And like, let's say if you're to be like, hey, instead of a brown bag, say paper bag. It makes it more funnier.
Yeah.
I think when comedy is just like how you word it.
Yeah.
And since you're good with your words, I did use a couple of them.
That's good though.
Yeah.
And anytime, bro, to do notes. There's another comic. Shout out to Tanya Estrada.
Yeah.
She allows me to you know
I've heard of
to
her.
write with her and to give her notes and things like that. You know, I write comedy and I also write, you know, scripts and things like that, but I haven't had the balls to get up there myself yet.
It's hard. It's hard because I've seen people that do like even funny videos, and when they try to do comedy, it's different. It's harder. Like I do funny videos and it's harder for me.
Mm-hmm.
But comedy to me is just like boom, 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 boom. Like the other day I did a roast battle at the Haha Comedy Club, and I was out there like everybody was laughing, but I lost. And I even told my lady, how the fuck did I lose if everybody was laughing? And she goes, you weren't roasting the guy, you're roasting yourself.
Oh,
and I was like, that's true. I had no comeback. Like he would say something and he'll be like, oh yeah, we were cholo. I'm like, yeah, and what? Like I was like, instead of hitting back, I was just making fun of what he said. And I guess that's not the way like a roast goes.
See that wasn't the point of that thing, but that's a good thing, bro. It's what do you call that? Okay, in acting we would say you were being very generous, meaning everything that person would say, you would amplify it.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's actually a good thing. That's what like a good supporting actor would want to do.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So the audience was very, very happy. They were pleased.
Yeah, they're dying.
But you didn't accomplish the goal because you weren't like. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
no, and it hit my ego because they offered me to go back, and I was like, hell, I'm not gonna go back. I fucking lost.
go back, G.
I should, huh?
Go back, and this time now you know what the agenda is.
Go with lines.
And
Scripted.
here's the beautiful thing: you already know what they're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be, oh, the cholo. They might try to make fun of the glasses, something,
bloody and blood out.
something, and
It's
just,
always the same shit.
just be ready to be like, okay, that was a good one, Trevor. It was funny the first time I heard it at prep school. Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, fuck the questions. So, what do you think? In general, like, have you had an experience at a show that jumped out at you, like a fan moment, maybe an audience member tried? Has an audience member ever tried to heckle you?
Yeah, I got heckled in Compton, remember? I did a show in Compton, and the homies, it's called Clown Now, Laugh Later, something like that. I've known them for years, good people, and so the thing is, one thing I've noticed is every crowd is different. You know, like white crowds, easy, just you could literally make fun of a white person, like Trevor, like you said, ooh,
Yeah.
and they'll laugh. Now, when you do a Mexican crowd, you use different kind of jokes, right? You could use like, oh, my mom joke, whatever, those kind of like regular Mexican jokes, right?
Mhm.
Now with the black audience, it's different. It's harder. Like I feel like a black comedian can make a black audience laugh faster because it's just the people, the culture, everything.
Right.
So I'm in Compton, like literally like in Compton. What street? I don't know what street it was. It was like in the heart of Compton. Fool. We go. We're the only Mexicans in the whole crowd, dude. And I go right there, and it's like 3 Mexicans, all black. And they're like, hey, you know what? I heard he's funny. They put me up, right? I go up, bam, I got him rolling, boom, boom, boom. The way I look at it is like black and Mexican, we have a lot of similarities. We make the same choices, we drink, we smoke. So I'm making fun of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also relating to my criminal past of dealing with black people. And I was like, yeah, you know, some of these black guys, they'll be like, man, we're going to ride it till the wheels fall off. I said, but when we get arrested, they'll be like, oh, no, fuck that. I'm snitching. I ain't going to go to jail for Tiny Tim. I'm going to, no, fuck that, yeah.
Ooh, I bet it got real fucking uncomfortable in there, though.
No, look, they were laughing.
Oh, shit, okay.
They were laughing.
Oh, shit.
They were laughing at it. When they got uncomfortable was because I'm already going to get off the stage. And then one of the girls like, man, why don't we say something, right? And then I was like, yeah, happy. They said something about being in jail, and I was like, I'm already drinking, and I'm like, you know what? I was like, why am I gonna deny it? I was like, yeah, I've been in jail. I've been in jail for like 20 years. And she goes, yeah, my brother's been in jail too. Woo woo. And I was like, okay, that's right. Hey, shout out to your brother, but hopefully all is well. Because I know not to give them their way, because then, you know, you're supposed to diffuse it. Don't like talk shit on them. Don't make them feel fucked up. Obviously, everybody's drinking.
Yeah.
And I'm outnumbered like crazy. You know, it's all black. So she's still heckling me still, but I'm just like diffusing it.
Yeah.
And one thing I've noticed is that there's always going to be situations like that. When there's alcohol involved, different lines of race, religion, it's going to be there. It's how you diffuse it, you know? So I just learned to, instead of getting mad, I just diffuse it. Because the same thing even happens in Raza places. I did a show in Santana, remember? This fool was going to fight me because I was playing his and his wife's song. I'm just like, I didn't know that was your song. And he goes, that's my wife's song. Remember he came up on crazy?
You danced and you cut it.
Yeah.
They were like,
he was pissed. He's like, why you playing that song? And that's my wife's song. And I was like, hey, bro, look, hey. I was like, get him a beer. I got him a, because I already know, like, you gotta be like, you know, you gotta be in piece of cues. I was like, here's a beer, bro. When I leave, we're gonna play that song, and I want you and your wife guided to the stage. Let's dance. Let's have a good time, you know? Because I learned, and that's one thing that I learned.
Salute to you, bro.
Exactly, you have to. And, you know, because sometimes violence in our culture is the answer a lot of times. But, because, you know, this is the kind of world we live in, even in Hollywood. It's a eating world, but sometimes you got to step back. I feel like you got to step back and be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take the high road, or just give that person that way right there. Because I was thinking, like, okay, I already got a warrant out of Orange County. If I fight this guy, I'm for sure going to jail. So I'm like, why do that? Why for this guy, you know? Like, why ruin his night and mine? Plus, my lady was there too. So I was like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. It's over a song.